Hello, friends. I was going to make this video a little later today, but can't because we have a crucial deadline coming up tonight in the Senate. They're going to vote on whether or not this atrocious House Republican bill for the budget is going to be, whether it will go to a final just plain majority vote in the Senate to pass it. It's a continued resolution. I don't want to get into all of it, but it's basically their shitty ass budget that they want to pass. And in order for it to go to the floor to be voted on at a simple majority, in other words, they only need, 50 votes plus the vice president to pass it. In order to get to that point, they have to do a thing called cloture. I don't want to go into all that, but basically they have to have 60 votes in order to actually vote on it to win with 50 or 51 votes. And that means, and they don't have that many Republicans, thankfully, in the Senate, so they actually need like 8 Democratic senators to approve this step so they can pass it with 51 votes. Or there's a government shutdown. And Chuck Schumer came out yesterday, late, I guess, saying he was going to support voting, with the Republicans on the cloture part so they could then vote on it and pass it themselves. And he may have voted against it at that point, but the point would be moot. If all the Republicans vote for it and all the Democrats vote against it, it'll still pass. So, and it's an absolutely horrible bill that will cut funding to all kinds of government programs, including Medicare and Medicaid. And eventually, it basically is just going to continue the budget up until September, when they hope, I guess, to pass the real budget. This is all complicated ass government shit. But anyway, where they'll give these massive tax breaks to billionaires and like Elon Musk and all his other, tech bro punks. And then, of course, cut Medicare and Medicaid. And if they get away with it, Social Security and a whole bunch of other stuff that actually helps real Americans like us. And Schumer he said he's going to vote for this bill to come to the floor of the Senate where it will pass, probably. Spineless ass shit. Schumer has proved over and over and over again that he doesn't really have much of a spine. I don't know if he's really a Democrat some days. It's just like, who the fuck are you, man? I sent him an email this morning. I would urge you right now, and when you get off this video, which I'm going to keep short, to call or go to his place. Just look him up on Google. You'll find his office, and either call him or there's a little form you can send an email and tell him what you think about him, and that he better not vote to push this bill through. Now, his argument, okay, I read it in the news this morning, is that if the government shuts down, then that gives Trump and Musk basically free reign to do whatever they want. That's not entirely true. What they're doing already is illegal. It's being challenged in the courts, and they're losing time and time again, thankfully. What will eventually come with all that, who knows? We'll see. We're going to come down to a constitutional crisis at some point, which we'll talk about in a different video. But, excuse me, we're essentially in a government shutdown already. The government is being dismantled by Trump and Musk and all the Project 2025 fuckers who came up with the plan. They're already dismantling it. The government isn't functioning right now. It is essentially already shut down. And by giving in to the Republicans in Congress and letting them have this atrocious bill it's basically, giving in to terrorists. They're trying to hold us, the American people, hostage to Trump's bullshit and destructive policies. You cannot give in to that kind of coercion, because if you do, guess what? Next time they're going to want more and more and more, because that's what happens with all terrorists, right? Or pirates or whatever, right? If you give in to them once, they're coming back. Guaranteed. They are. So reach out to Schumer and say, this is what I said. I said, if you vote for this cloture and this budget passes, then the next time you have a primary, I will spend every free dollar I have, which ain't a whole lot of, but it's not a big threat from me, but I will spend every dollar I have on your Democratic opponent in the next primary. It might be AOC, that people are putting her up already to be senator, which would be pretty awesome. But I don't care who it is, quite frankly. If he does this, I will support whatever Democrat runs against him next time. And that's what you should say, basically. Like, I told him to grow a pair, quote unquote. Anyway, this is why, in some ways, the situation we're in now in this country, in many ways, in some ways, at least, is the fault of the Democratic Party. I mean, the Republican Party, we already know, they're always been for big business and selling out to corporations and shit. I mean, if you don't know that, then, you weren't paying attention. But we know that. But the Democrats did it too, and this is doing it again, because he's giving in to their, terroristic demands, essentially, their coercion. No, the way you deal with that is to say, fuck you. If you can't pass your own damn bills, maybe you need to come back to the table and negotiate with us and come up with a bill that makes some damn sense instead of this crazy ass shit you're trying to push through. All right. I'm going to try to calm down now. Take a breath. All right. More later. I'm actually going to talk about that, taking a breath, in my next video today, so stay tuned. Make sure to subscribe, share, follow, like it, all that happy horse shit. Thank you. Fuck on. Be fearless.